Happy Saturday night. All right, we are here. Let's see if anybody can see me. We'll kind of tick this on along. Here comes my screen.
Introducing Opus Mega 5.
There we go. Make sure I've got it muted. Jacob says 5x5. And Von Mousetrap. And Farm Ranch. Lucky Dame. Smoking Swamp. Okay, Lone Ranger. Okay, 1 second after. Cool. Okay. Happy Saturday night, guys. Okay, as we plug on along, the last weekend of October already, if you can believe that. I mean, Christ, Halloween's Tuesday and Thanksgiving is, what, less than a month away now. Amazing. Where'd the year go, right? So, all right. Well, interesting. So I'm still in the process of doing my, oh crap. All right. Nope. All right. It's okay. But he's still 5x5. That's good. All right. Because I saw my screen started doing this again. But yeah, just basic stuff around the house. So we had some interesting news today. Mike Pence is no longer running for president. Not that he ever had a chance anyway, but he dropped out today. Larry Elder dropped out yesterday, I believe it was. Maybe it was the day before. So yeah, that was it. You know, Judas Pence is no longer a potential candidate. So, I mean, I've seen one Pence sign. So, I guess Mike finally realized that he really screwed his career back January 6, 2021. Other than that, you guys probably saw today, Matthew Perry died. Apparently, early things is it had nothing to do with his drug problem, but he drowned in his jacuzzi. So who knows how you do that? I don't know, but yeah, sad anyway. And then the other interesting thing, if you caught this one, Potato Joe has asked Congress to initiate the War Powers Act. Yeah, it's getting a little sticky with what Joe's doing here. So we'll see what happens with all of that. But it might be interesting to see what happens on Monday morning, how Congress replies to this one. But yeah, again, we've all said, I mean, pretty much every one of you, every channel out there, including me, is Joe wants a war. He wants to be a wartime president, and he can do whatever he can to get one. So we'll see, but it's just getting uglier and uglier out there. So, all right. But enough of that. There wasn't a whole lot on this Saturday to talk about today. So let's get into the fun festivities here. And we will, if y'all know, we are giving away a EcoFlow Delta 2 tonight. Had to enter on the draw or on the video from, what was it, Thursday, I believe, Thursday lunchtime. So if you remember what the Delta 2 is, that is the upgraded version of the Delta 1300. So it's a 1300 watt generator. This one's expandable. You can add a second battery to it. And I think Elliot got it, if I remember correctly, got it down to $699 or $679 or something like that for us, somewhere thereabouts. But that's freaking cheap. So, again, remember we were talking a year or so, maybe 2 years ago, that $1 a watt was a good price, and now we're bouncing around 50 cents a watt. So definitely helping. And running my little test on the house this weekend has been a good learning experience, and I'll share, once I finish the test, I will share the details with you guys, let you know what some of the pros and cons I've found are. But so far so good. So all right, so to remind everybody on how this one worked tonight, it's open to anybody in all 50 states, so we're good there. Finally got stuff like that going through. And so in order to be a valid entry for tonight's contest, your comment on Thursday afternoon's video had to have the state in which you live in and had to have one of Santa's reindeer. Okay. Yes, I know I'm getting way ahead of the holidays here, but that was just what popped in my head. So What we'll do, we'll flip over here in a minute and go to the random comment picker, and we will draw a name, see who's there. Provided it's a valid entry, the person will have to reply to in the comment section here, which of course all of a sudden now isn't working, and there it is. Okay, maybe. Oh, what is this freaking ads? Hang on. Skip. Okay, there we go. Comment section. I can see it. Okay. They will have 3 minutes to reply in the chat room that they're here. All you got to do is say I'm here or something. Just make your presence known. Don't need a soliloquy or anything. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is good enough as long as I see your name that you are present. That's all we ask for. Most of you know this. I will say it again anyway. When we flip over and do this, please stop making comments in the chat room. Okay, there's almost 3,000 of you in here. There's one of me. I'm the only one that's basically going to find persons there. So the rule has been for months now. If once I say don't make any comments and the moderators put up there, don't make any more comments, after you see that comment, if you make a comment, you go into a 300-second timeout, which means you have no possibility of saying I'm here in 3 minutes if you're in a 5-minute timeout. So do us all a favor, guys, and do not make any comments when we flip over. So, all right, let me get this going over here. And I will flip the camera over. Maybe. There it is. Okay. All right, YouTube comment picker. There is the link from Thursday's video. And let's see how many comments we have. We will flip on through and we will leave out replies. Like I said, it's got to be primary comment only. And we do not allow duplicates. Everybody only gets one entry. So let's let this thing go. And this is going to be fun. It's going to go slowly. All right, so that we might have a second or two to talk here as we wait for this thing to chunk along at 20 comments apiece. All right. I see Charlie said 5 guys. We haven't got to the no comments yet, so let's wait till we know how many people we have. So don't need timeouts yet. All right, but it's going to take a minute because apparently they want to slowly kick this on through. Come on. 1,000. I got to figure we've probably got somewhere, as usual, between 2,500 and 3,000. So we will see what we get on here. So that means we're halfway through. God. All right. 1,500. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. 17. Still like the other comment picker better, but now they want that one to pay for us to pay for it. Sorry for the 1 or 2 of these I do a month. I'm not giving them $50. So that's just not happening. Somebody just said buffering. Okay, I hope not. Let's see. We're still kicking along. 2,300. 24. Come on, today. Thanks, Jacob. It's just 5 by 5. It's good. 25. 26. Thanks, Robert. No buffering. And there we go. Okay, so what do we have? 2,568 comments. All right, so here we go. As of this point, no comments. Okay, there we go. Jacob saying there, stop comments now. Lucky Dame saying no comments. Any comments from here on out? If you're not the winner, is a timeout. All right, so let's see what we got. And our winner is Leslie A.M. God bless you, Pinball. I like Comet here in New Hampshire. So that is a valid entry. So is Leslie AM here? And we will watch. I gotta get down here. Leslie, it is 9:09, so you have until 9:12 to announce your presence. And if Leslie is not here, we've had this happen numerous times, we will draw a different name. So Leslie AM, we are looking for you. And guys, if you're making comments and you're not Leslie right now, you're getting put in timeout. If we have to draw another name, you just killed your eligibility. So Leslie, are you here? It's now 9:10, Leslie. You have 2 more minutes. Still waiting. Never good when they take this long. So we will watch. But looking for Leslie AM. It's always I feel for the people when they go, oh crap, I forgot about the live stream. They go watch it later and go, shit, my name was called. So looking for Leslie. And we may have another one where we do this a second time. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Leslie. I got to do it for 3 minutes. I got to give people time to run from the bathroom or run from the refrigerator and go, oh my God, that's my name. Everything, forget what to do, or they're on their phone and I got to log into my computer to type in there or something. But 9:11, Leslie, you're down to the final minute. It ain't looking good. It's looking good for everybody else, just not looking good for Leslie. Leslie. Tick tock. Oh God. I'll get this phone number crap again. Phone call from California. I don't know anybody in California. Leslie, are you here? You're probably down to the final 15 seconds, Leslie. I hate to say this, but well, Lucky Dame says maybe it was Leslie, but I doubt it because nobody's got my phone number. And so we are going to pick a new name. So let me flip this all over again. And here we go. So let's close that out because Leslie is not present. And we will try it again. So let's pick a new name. And we have Alicia Robinson. It's scary what's happening. I worry about so many people. Thank you, Pinball, for all you do. Thank you, Elliot, for another opportunity. Michigan and Dasher. That would be good. So, Alicia Robinson, are you here? It is 9:12. You have until 9:15. So, Alicia Robinson. There she is here. All right. Woo. All right. So I can move this over. Alicia, what I need or tomorrow morning, doesn't matter, is email me your name, your physical mailing address, and your phone number. I will get everything over to Elliot on Monday morning, and they usually get everything out around Wednesday or so. So depending on where you are, next weekend or beginning of the week, you will be the proud owner of a new EcoFlow Delta 2. Congratulations. So, all right. So that is that. And now we will move on to regularly scheduled programming. Pardon me if I look exhausted, guys. It's because I am. I've been up since 2:30 in the morning. I couldn't sleep last night. So you guys were wondering why there's such an early morning video today. That's why. I had plenty of time. So yeah, I'm working on what, 19 hours right now? Yeah, so if I look a little watery in the eyes, that's why. Tired. But okay, so let's take a second to go over the rules here for the Q&A. Pretty simple stuff. If you guys have questions for me, please put it in all caps. Okay, just like every other YouTube channel, it lets me go through the comments a lot quicker and I can find the questions that are directed at me. If you want to have conversations amongst yourselves, which I wholeheartedly endorse, please keep those in lowercase. It keeps the pace of the live stream going a little quicker. Okay. I encourage everybody to keep up with what's going on in the chat room because I don't have all the answers, and somebody else may be able to answer your question either earlier than me or better than me. So the only rule that I do adamantly enforce is treating each other in here with respect, dignity. Okay. I don't mind disagreement of opinion. That's fine. I don't expect everybody to agree with me. Okay. If you're going to be rude about it, you won't have a second chance. Okay. That's it. Engage brain before putting mouth in gear. All right. Let's go to the top here. Well, okay, there's all the congratulations. So let's see. Hey, pinball predictions for precious metal prices when the market opens. Depending on what happens with Israel and Hamas this weekend, I think a little of that is already priced in the market. My guess on Monday morning is my guess, okay, mind you this, okay, is you will probably see a little bit of a pullback. In other words, open down slightly based on what we know now. Just for the simple reason is we had such a nice spike on Friday, you'll probably have a little bit of profit taking. Okay. That's my guess. Would I still be a buyer in here? Yes. Okay. Especially on silver. Silver's cheap. Gold's getting about, I don't want to say expensive, but that psychological barrier of 2,000 for gold is a little tough for some people to swallow. Silver's still down around $23. That's cheap. Okay. So if I'm buying anything right now, I'm buying silver. Let's see. Odd one. Has there ever been an unclaimed prize? No, because I keep drawing until we find a winner, and everybody who's ever won has always sent me their address. I have had an issue one time where it took somebody 3 days to send me their address, and I thought we were going to have one that was unclaimed. If that ever does happen, I will get on the live stream, the next live stream, and tell everybody, hey, we're doing it again. They never got back to me. It's never happened. I can't see why it would, but who knows? All right. Charlie Knoll, how's the pond water level doing? Well, I'm hoping my fish learn how to breathe oxygen here pretty soon because we've had one light rainstorm in 2 months here. I mean, we are really, really dry in Tennessee. I'm waiting for the rest of the leaves to fall off the trees. We've built a ram pump, which is going to be fun. We had to go 330 feet to get 9 foot of drop, which is what we needed. And then I've got to run it for about 800 feet at 65 feet higher elevation. We've got everything we need. It's basically, we've got all the parts. We've already put together the pump. We've tested that works. We got to go and lay all the PVC in the stream, and then we've got to run the hose up to the pond. We're ready to do it. We are just waiting for all the foliage to die off because we've got to go through that. And there's a lot of poison ivy in there. So the more of it that can be dead, the better I am. But yes, I will be in long pants and socks and shoes and taped up ankles and everything, but yeah, we're just trying to make it a little easier to do it. Susan Musser, what reason did Potato Joe say for invoking the War Powers Act? He hasn't invoked it. He's asking Congress to, okay? And this only came out maybe an hour before the live stream. And so I have not seen what his reasoning is yet and don't know what he's asking for. The only thing I do know is he told Congress about the issues with us bombing in Syria and shooting down Iranian drones that have been targeted toward U.S. bases. So it's interesting because the actions that are being taken right now literally have nothing to do with Israel. So we'll see. We'll see as more details come out. I might have more in the morning. I don't know, but I will tell you this: as soon as the live stream's over, I'm going to bed. RLRL, Mr. P, why don't I raise chickens or rabbits for meat protein? I can't raise chickens because I'm too close to the lake, and apparently where I am up until the back of my property, that we're not allowed to. I guess there's something about runoff into the lakes. Rabbits would be a different animal. I believe I could raise rabbits. I just don't. Okay. But if the world goes to shit, and then I ain't going to worry about what TWRA or TVA says, and I would be raising chickens quickly. Joni, how would I protect my young peach trees from freezing in South Carolina? At this point, I mean, if you planted them in the spring, or well, even if you've planted them relatively recently, they're going to be fine. I mean, the deciduous trees need that cold time over the winter. I mean, I've got peach trees, I've got pears and plums and apples and cherries, and we had those freezes. I mean, unless you've just recently planted them, like in the last couple of weeks, and they haven't had any time to establish their root system, I just get a good thick layer of mulch around the roots, and that's about the best you're going to do. So, but honestly, I wouldn't worry about it. I mean, I know for here, I think it's supposed to get down to 26 on Wednesday night or something like that. So all that tells me is, okay, there's my first frost coming in. Garlic will probably be going in next weekend. So that'll be it. Oops. Okay. Gotta find where I was. Shut to the bottom. Hang on. Lots of questions here, and I gotta find where I was. Okay. I'm close. Mary Store, recommendations on a solar fridge, Lions or EcoFlow Glacier. Lions 10 times out of 10. Okay. I reviewed the EcoFlow Glacier. Notice you never saw it. Okay. No, not worth it. Okay. Way too expensive. Does not perform as good as the Lion Cooler. And that ice tray thing is a joke. So, yeah, I did it. And no. Coffee and chocolate. What happened is Potato and Chief enforces the War Powers Act. We got to find out what he's asking for yet. Okay, we don't have details on it yet. Morning Light. How soon might Potato start the draft? Again, that's not his decision. That's Congress's decision. And there's a lot of things. First off, Congress has to declare war. Then we have to figure out that, what our shortcomings are, what we need. So it's not like we're going to wake up Monday morning and Congress and go, hey, we're starting to draft again. There'll be debate. We'll all know that they're even seriously talking about it beforehand. And it's not going to be, okay, print out the draft notices on Monday and everybody reports for duty on Tuesday. It ain't going to work that fast. Frugalish Mama, was Mrs. P a prepper before I married her? She lived in Russia. Everybody in Russia is a prepper. That's how you survive there. Okay. You put food away. I mean, you ask any European, I mean, they know more about currency exchanging than, currency rates and things like that than 99% of the people in the United States. We just all go, we got dollars. Good. You're over in Europe. You're hedging your money all the time because especially Eastern Europe. It goes up, it goes down, I mean, and I talked to her before she got here, we'd be married. She's like, yeah, I went to the bank today, traded rubles for dollars. 3 days later, she'd come back. She goes, yep, I went to the bank today and traded my dollars back to rubles. Because that was how they were trying to protect their money. So was she a prepper before I married you? Everybody in Russia is a prepper, storing food, doing whatever, because that's what it takes to survive. Okay. Con R. What? Okay, it doesn't make sense. Assuming that's what. What advantage does China get by sending ships out to the Middle East? China's got their Belt and Road Initiative. They want land, trade, everything with the Middle East. China and the United States are like this. As much as everybody says, oh, everything's good with China. No, it's not. Okay. China wants to take over world domination. And, that means crushing the United States. PA Rambler, do I think we will be involved in this war directly and the draft? I talked about this all this morning on this morning's video. No, I don't think we'll be involved in it directly. But the draft, I think, is very possible, considering I think the war is going to wind up being brought to our soil by sleeper cells and radicals. And then we're going to have that problem. Covers Corner Suburban Homestead. What do I use to mulch my leaves? Okay. I don't cover my leaves. I understand what you're talking about, chopping them up. I'll run them over with the lawnmower first, sweep them up in the yard, and then I've got a leaf shredder that I got for $70 or something like that a couple of years ago. It's just one of these Sun Joe things. I just throw the leaves in there, let them shred the leaves. Does a good job of shredding them. I just throw them over the garden. Actually, what I do is take the shredder out and I just put it in the middle of the garden, throw the leaves in there. It just makes a big pile underneath them, and I just spread them out with a rake. Old hippie, I love the way you run a tight ship. Sorry, ex-Army, sue me. Got to. Let's see. Sam Carpenter, any advice on how to get my rhubarb to be more productive here in 7B, South Carolina? I used to love rhubarb as a kid. I probably haven't had rhubarb since I was a kid. The only thing I remember about rhubarb is my grandfather telling me it was either the leaves or the stalks, one of the two, was poisonous if you ate it raw, like celery or something like that. It was only safe if you cooked it. And so I don't plant it for the simple reason of I got 2 dogs who like to go in the garden and pick their own vegetables. And the last thing I want them to do is go pick a stick of rhubarb. And I got a dog in an animal hospital. So I haven't had rhubarb in years. Heather Bray, shopping early to avoid the crowds and people. Everyone should be cautious with shopping. Right now, everyone should be cautious wherever they are, okay? Because, again, we can look at Lewiston, Maine. I went to a bowling alley and didn't come home. I went to a bar and didn't come home, okay? I talked about this a few days ago, that I go bowling on Mondays, and you don't give it a thought. Somebody walks in there with a rifle, what kills me, I think Maine is the second most armed state in the country. Okay. It's probably per capita or something like that, or, percentage based on population, because, my bet is probably Wyoming's number 1 or something like that. But you can't tell me that there's more guns in Maine than there is in Texas. So it's got to be some percentage basis. But not a single person was able to fire back. And that I got a problem with, okay? Because like I said, right now, don't go anywhere without it, because you don't know. And as I talked about this morning, not only do you get the sleeper cells of radicals, But you also have all these liberal Looney Tunes out there who, free Palestine, this is all Israel's fault. Yada, yada. I mean, they're screaming and yelling. I mean, Erdogan today, uh, you know, leader of Turkey, is basically calling for World War III. On this, being on the side of Hamas. I mean, Turkey was basically threatening Israel, which I think is absolutely hilarious because Turkey is a NATO member. So let's say Turkey and Israel go to war. Turkey's a NATO member. Israel's an ally. The first time that NATO wound up fighting against one of their own members. That, at least that's the way I'd hope it would be. Because Erdogan's an idiot. Bill Babington, what am I doing for home defense? Reason I ask is because you're only one person. Well, actually, I'm more than one person because Mrs. P is a second person too. And honestly, I've discussed a few things about my home defense, but I'm not going to discuss everything that I do in home defense because that would be kind of stupid. So this is the internet after all. So yes, I am well armed and well trained. Okay. And I've got quite a few tricks up my sleeve. Country Humans Network, with the war threatening me, what do you think with the war threatening me, what do you think we will shortage with food in our, okay, you got to rewrite that question and put it in English, please. Ann Palmer, Pinball, have you ever made sourdough bread? Yes, many times. Okay, I did all sorts of different kinds of bread, 3 ingredient bread, bread in my Dutch oven, bread in a frying pan. Here we go again. No, I'm not answering private numbers. Yeah, just unbelievable. Sassy Prep, thanks for your advice. Keep your head on a swivel. It's something that you really, you cannot forget that. That is, I mean, crucial, because the one time you go, everything's cool, don't have to worry about it when I'm here, is the time that you're in a bowling alley in Lewiston, Maine. Kathy K, I was working in my garden today and found termites. Any suggestions? Okay, the first thing I will say is, what's the source? And inevitably, you have wood chips in your garden. And I know so many people back to Eden and all that, no-till gardening and, dump wood chips in your garden, let them decompose, you'll get great soil. I've seen all the videos too. Okay. There's your problem. Termites like moist wood. Well, you need water to your garden. You need water for that wood to decompose, and termites love it. Okay. Now I live in a wooden house. I don't want termites. So all the mulch I have around my flower beds is cedar. Cedar and cypress termites do not actually repel termites. Okay. I do not have wood chips in my garden at all. The only wood chips that there's some, because that's what was mixed in with the horse manure that I had. Okay. But it's not enough. But when you start making stacks and stacks and stacks of moist wood, that's what termites love. I've mentioned the Eliminator product that I use for fleas, ticks, and 500 other kinds of bugs. I would get some of that, and I would get it all over your garden because you don't want termites. Connie Billings, what are the chances of getting a couple of hats like that? 0. For the simple reason this one was sent to me. One of y'all had this specially made, so I don't have hats. I don't have t-shirts. You guys know I don't. I know a lot of you guys say, oh, you should make a t-shirt like this. The hassle it is to do. I looked into it one time after somebody said, and it's just a pain in the ass. And what they want for these t-shirts is insane. I mean, when we did the get together in 2021, I had t-shirts that had printed up. I got 200 of them or something like that. and they cost me like $9.95 to get t-shirts printed. We sold them for $10, right? So I got to think, it's like, okay, to get t-shirts printed out, and if you're doing only a few, it's going to cost more. But, they're selling these t-shirts for like 20, $22. Who the hell's paying $22 for a freaking t-shirt? Okay. No. Uh, I'd much rather have you guys spend your money on preps or something like that. I mean, I know I got these things, okay? That's a whopping $5. Big deal, okay? Uh, just in case y'all missed it the other day, if you want any of these, okay, $5 a piece, send me a self-addressed stamped envelope, $5 for however many you want. I can get 2 in an envelope. If you want 4 of them, send me 2 envelopes. I've already got some that came in the mail yesterday. I did not go to the post office today. I will go to the post office and check, see what came today, tomorrow, or Monday, and start getting stuff going out and coming in and everything like that. But yeah, I'd rather have you guys spend your money on preps than hats and t-shirts and that sort of stuff. Original one shot, one kill. Ammo prices still moving up. How long do you think before we see outs? We're already seeing them. Okay. One of y'all had emailed me today and said that they couldn't get 12 gauge ammo. I have seen many of the online retailers that are out of 5.56. If you guys caught the news this morning, I think it was the Department of Commerce has now put a 90-day moratorium on U.S. gun sellers, say Remington or Smith & Wesson or whatever it is, cannot export any guns. So they're trying to do an end around, guys. This is exactly what's going on. And, the public isn't as stupid as Washington thinks. Gee, all of a sudden they're stopping selling weapons overseas. Okay, well, what are you doing? You're just greasing the skids so you can, make them stop selling them in the United States. Gee, if there's no ammo, what good's a gun? So they can't take the gun away from you, but they can take the ammo away from you. And that's what they're trying to do. Miranda Babcock, do I plan on getting a flu shot, or have I ever gotten a flu shot? Yeah, I got a flu shot when I was in the Army because they required us to. Do I voluntarily get flu shots? No, never. So we already answered that one. No, I'm not putting. I mean, the flu shot to me, again, is about the stupidest thing. Hey, you know what? Let me get a shot with last year's strain of the flu so it can get me sick with it, but it won't do anything for this year's strain of the flu, because that's what it is, guys. You're getting a vaccine. The flu shot is made off of last year's flu strain. Has nothing to do with this year's. And they just kind of go, well, we hope that the strains are kind of similar. It's just a moneymaker. That's it. Patriot Pop, what's the best buy? Silver coins, rounds, or stackable silver? Okay, well, if you'd have to, if you're defining stackable silver as like silver bars, okay, okay, I don't know what you're defining there, because I mean, you stack rounds and coins. This is a matter of personal preference, okay? And I'll give you my logic to it, and whether you agree or not is up to you. Some people like to buy Walking Liberties or Morgans or something like that, because they want the collector value to it. They go, oh, you know what? This is actual currency, okay? If you're buying silver and gold, preparing to use it as a means of trade in an SHTF situation, once the dollar collapses, what does it matter if it's a currency? Gee, it's a dollar coin, but the dollar means nothing because the currency's collapsed. So who cares? Okay. I'm not a fan of buying coins for the numismatic value, the collector value. I'm not a coin collector. I'm a stacker. Okay. I'm banking silver and gold to hedge myself against inflation and to protect my wealth. That's what I'm doing with it. Okay. My personal belief is in silver, buy 1 ounce rounds. Okay. Or 1 ounce bars are fine. Okay. Whatever's cheaper. Because if you go on any of the bullion dealers, and like I said, I use JM, I use SD Bullion, I use BGASC. Okay. And I know Money Metals and AppMax, and there's all sorts of other ones you can go to too. And you start pricing it out and go, okay, and you've all looked at this, gee, it's 24.29 for this one, or 24.59 for this one, and 24.79 for this one. I'm going, it's all a freaking ounce of silver. Why would I pay 24.79 for an ounce of silver when I can get an ounce of silver for 24.29? I don't care what the picture is on there. I stack the silver for the value of the metal. And so in that respect, my way of doing it is with silver rounds or with silver bars. Okay. So most of my silver is in 1 ounce silver rounds. I do have some 5 ounce and 10 ounce bars. I would not get anything more than a 10 ounce bar, because then you wind up in the same problem you have with gold. Is it's only going to be good for big purchases. Okay, get a 10 ounce bar right now, that's $250. Okay, somebody's got to make change for it, and how are they going to make change? If you're the only one that's got silver, I need a loaf of bread. All you got is a kilo bar of silver. They go, you want 100 loaves of bread? Because there's no way to make change. So, smaller denominations. It's one of the other reasons why I say constitutional silver, junk silver, get a lot of silver dimes. That's another good thing to get. Tommy M, lucky you have a lake close by. Be careful what you wish for, okay? Yeah, I'm lucky I've got a lake close by, because you say, hey, it's a great water source, right? I can go fishing in it, right? Sure. How many people do you think are going to start bathing in that? It's not going to be drinkable water for long. Hence the reason for my pond, okay? Because that one I can control. How fast do you think that'll get fished out, okay? Or fished heavily, and then you're going, okay, I'm going to go fishing, I'm not going to catch much. I mean, you guys that fish know you sometimes have great days. You can go out fishing and catch nothing all day too, okay? If you're praying to God you catch something so you eat tonight, when the fishing pressure is very heavy, you might be very hungry, okay? So yes, I'm lucky I have a lake by, but for how long am I lucky? Early Music Diva, is my solar power experiment over? The first experiment is. The second one started at 8 o'clock this morning. That one probably won't be done for a few days. So, and I'm waiting for the results so I can figure out how did it go. Okay, I am learning stuff, and I'll explain that to you when I go. I think I talked about it the other day about realizing the difference in light bulbs. I think I told you guys I've got 5 cans in recessed lights in my living room, and I've replaced all those bulbs. They're all LED bulbs in there. They use about 5 watts a piece. Okay, so I'm going, 23, 24, 25 watts of power to light my living room. Mrs. P goes up in the bathroom upstairs, our master bath, which has got 3 cans in it. I've never replaced any of those bulbs. 180 watts. Those are still incandescent 60-watt bulbs. I'm going, okay, I'm sucking nearly 6 times the amount of power, a little more than 5 times the amount of power to light up my bathroom than I am to light up my living room. And you suddenly go, okay, if energy's at a premium, those are things that I'm realizing you're doing it, because you don't look at a light bulb and go, oh, that's a 60 watt and that's a 5 watt, right? But when all of a sudden it's right there in your face going, crap, yeah, then you do. Lead by example. What's my thought on paying off credit card debt with a home equity loan? My credit cards just reached 20% interest. Uh, yes, I know there's the banks will love to tell you this. Do it, do it, do it. Hey, you can get your interest rate down from 20% on the credit card to 7% on a home equity loan or 10% or whatever you get. You go, hey, I'm saving money. Here's the problem. Okay. You are now taking unsecured debt. You financed a hamburger at McDonald's. Okay. It's not like they're going to reach down your throat and pull that hamburger back up. You're now financing that hamburger that you bought and ate and is gone and risking your house for it. Yes, I understand the rates are cheaper, but now you're changing that from unsecured debt to secured debt. So now you're putting something at risk. If you can't pay the bills on your credit card right now, the best they can do is trash your credit score. If you can't pay the bills and it's a home equity loan, they can take your house. Okay. No, do not use a home equity. That's one of the biggest things that gets people in trouble. And you've seen this for years. Home equity lines of credit, home equity loans, because they tell people, pay off all your credit cards with a home equity loans. People take the home equity loan, add to their mortgage, and then they go out and charge up the credit cards again. And now they've got the loan twice. Okay. Do what you can to pay the credit cards off as fast as you can. Okay. Ramsey's snowball method is a good way of going. Do not put your house at risk to do it. Rebecca Woosley, are goldbacks and silverbacks a good option for people who don't have the $5,000 for a minimum purchase? How does it work? Must my state issue them for me to use? Okay. I don't understand what you're saying, a $5,000 minimum purchase. You can go online and buy 1 ounce of silver. Usually you probably want to buy at least 8 because most places have a minimum $200 to make you eligible for free shipping. Okay. So first off, I'm not sure what you're talking about, a $5,000 minimum purchase. If there's somebody that's telling you that you've got to buy $5,000 worth of gold or silver before they'll sell it to you, there's a million of them out there that don't require that. Okay, so there's the first part. Second part, and again, this is going to be my opinion. Goldbacks and silverbacks are about the biggest ripoff in the precious metal market that you can get. Go take a look, and they'll tell you with each one of them what the weight of gold is in a goldback. Okay, and do the math on it as to, if it's 1/100th of an ounce. I'm just making stuff up here. If it's 1/100th of an ounce for that note, break down the price of gold. Gold right now is right about 2,000. So at that point, 1/100th of an ounce would be $20. Okay. What are they charging you for the gold back? And last time I did the math on this, I think it was Utah Goldbacks that I was doing it with too. They were charging the equivalent of $3,000 an ounce for goldbacks. I'm not paying 50% premium on anything. Okay. You can get gold at about, 4% premium, buy gold coins. If you want to buy gold, go on one of the websites, like I said, SD Bullion or JM or BJGASC or something like that, and buy 1 ounce bars and assay. The ones that are certified, they're in the plastic, they've got a serial number to them. You'll pay right now, I'd say probably under $20 an ounce if you're looking at gold. Okay, and you'd have real gold. A-OK, what's the best fruit tree to plant for a newbie in Zone 6B? They're not hard. dig a hole, stick it in, put some fruit tree fertilizer on it twice a year, fall and spring, and you're good. Okay. Pears, peaches, apples, plums, uh, yeah. I mean, pears, peaches, apples, and plums. Go with those. I mean, that's going to cover most of what you want. If you want to grow figs, figs are good for a sugar alternative. If you want to grow pie cherries, you can. Those are a little more difficult. But I mean, literally apples, peaches, plums, and pears. It's put the tree in the ground, set it, and forget it. Okay. Wait 5 years, and you're going to have harvest of fruit. Okay? You might get a couple, like I think the second year we had our peach tree in, we got 2 peaches. Okay. This year we got about a dozen peaches. Next year I should have 30, 40, 50 peaches. So I got 1 pear tree or peach tree. Sorry, I'm tired. Lightning Josie, is dried grass okay for cover for strawberries for the winter, or are there better options? Dried grass is fine. I mean, that's a great one for it. Shredded leaves is another good one. I mean, use what's available to you. If you got grass clippings, I've got grass clippings all over gardens out there. It's a great weed barrier. It's going to decompose, and all it's going to do is add nitrogen to the soil, and you need nitrogen in the soil. Grass clippings are great to use as a winter blanket for your gardens. Judy Durbin, Pinball, when is the best time to plant garlic? Somewhere between your first frost and your first freeze of the ground. Okay, and depending on where you are, some places the ground doesn't freeze. Okay, you live in Florida, you're not worried about ground freezing. Where I am, most of the time the ground's not going to freeze. Granted, we got a little bit of it last December. Okay, but the best rule of thumb I can give you, sometime in the first 30 days after your last frost date. So like me, my last frost date is Halloween. So, for me, basically the month of November is my optimum time to plant garlic. Trucker Hershey, home equity loan to pay off your cards only if you cut up the cards. I still don't like it because I'm not gonna put my house up as collateral for a Big Mac. And I mean, that's what I'm saying, the difference between secured debt and unsecured debt. But yeah, you better cut up the cards. South Colorado Stetter, do I have a juice steamer? No, I've just got a regular juicer. That's how we got all this. So yeah, this weekend is filter out so have that for next week. Wendy Blank, what is my opinion if the conflicts go hot on all sides? Do you think the resident will open up our energy sector to replenish? No. I mean, there ain't no way in the world Joe's going to say, you know what, change my mind, drill, baby, drill. Okay, not going to happen. I mean, to give you an idea how dumb Joe is, Joe decided, now that we're short on oil and we've got all these problems in the Middle East, we know we're not getting anything from Russia. Joe is reducing the sanctions on Venezuela so we can get Venezuelan oil, right? Didn't even cross his mind to, hey, what about getting Canadian oil? I mean, Christ, they're right on our border. They're our friend, right? Nope, can't do that. Too close to the United States. Justin Trudeau, oh no, we're not drilling oil in Canada. Are you kidding me? We're all on the EV bandwagon too. Ford can lose $6.5 billion every year. I don't care. Right. Okay. Jenny DP, have a PCS to Fort Bragg in the summer. What are my thoughts on the housing market? If you're asking me to predict what the housing market's going to look like next year, I got no freaking clue. If you're going to North Carolina, though, North Carolina, North Carolina is one of those states I don't see the prices coming down, okay, because it's still one that's getting a net influx of people. So yeah, if you're going to, you're saying PCSing to Fort Bragg, permanent change of station, guys, if you wonder what PCS means, military acronym. Uh, yeah, you're gonna be paying through the nose for, I'm guessing, rent. I mean, unless you're planning on moving there permanently, buying a house. But yeah, you're gonna be expensive rent. If you've got the chance to get post housing, that might be a better idea. I know post housing sucks, but paying whether BAQ or BOQ, whatever you get, is enough to pay for an apartment. See if you can get post housing. My opinion. Holy crap, it's 5 to 10. Okay, let's see what we got. Debbie Nugent, do I have a recipe for my vape? I'm assuming you mean for the juice. Mrs. P smokes the same one over and over again. I make her a clone of mother's milk. I get creative. I mean, sometimes I'll do a blueberry cheesecake. Right now I'm doing a nut one. But if you're interested in recipes, go to the website. It's the letter E dash liquid dash recipes.com. And there are, and I kid you not, millions of recipes there that you can look at. I mean, let's say you like something that's menthol. You can put menthol in a search and it'll give you everything. You want a clone to something, you can put that in a search and it'll show you all the people that come up with the clones for it. So that is by far the best resource I've ever found for making my own juice. And considering, I know a lot of you guys don't do this, freaking bottle of juice for these things, like $20. I can make that same bottle for about $1.10. So yeah, hence the reason I make my own. Trucker Jim, can Joe invoke the War Powers Act without Congress? No, he cannot. Tricia, we've had 5 inches, I'm assuming, snow in the last couple of days. 75 2 days ago, 37 and raining today. Oh, great. Yeah. Now, welcome to fall. You never know. I mean, like I said to Mrs. P, I remember being up in New England. I think it was 2012 or 2013. If you guys are up there, you remember what year it was. And I was living in Tingsboro, Massachusetts, which is outside of Boston by half an hour. Okay, maybe 40 minutes. Obviously west of Boston, because east is the Atlantic. And on Halloween, or right around Halloween, right around this time of year, we had a massive ice storm, and the leaves weren't even off the trees yet. So we had all this ice that not only coated the branches, but coated the leaves, made all the trees heavy, and took down power. We were without power for 6 days. So yeah, I mean, and then it was 70 degrees later that week, and then everything melted. Whoops. Hang on, we shot to the bottom. Crap. No, I missed whatever it was there, and I can't go back that far. South Colorado Stetter, do I have silver or gold testers? Yes, I do. There is a app on your phone. If you go to, it's called Ping Coin, PINGCOIN. And literally, if you take a little clothespin, I've got the tester myself too, but you can take a clothespin, the ones that sprinkler clothespins, hold the coin in there and tap it with a pencil or something like that, and the sound it makes, the app will tell you if it's a Philharmonic, if it's a Silver Eagle, whatever. It'll tell you that it is actually legitimate silver. That's one of them. I've got 3 different ways to test silver and gold. So backups to backups to backups. Mr. Action 1 says Silver Gold Bull normally has better buys. Okay, that's one I have not heard of, so I'll check it out. Michael 517, I buy the cheapest 10-ounce round or 1-ounce rounds and bars and junk silver dimes. That's exactly what I do. Same thing. Let's see. I'm trying to zip them out quick here. How long have I been bowling and what's my average? The funny part is I started bowling when I was probably about 15. My average used to be in the low 200s. Right now, my average is 151, but I have not bowled in this is the first league I've bowled in over 10 years. So, and it is 10 o'clock. So let me see. And last one, going hot, save silver and a small fireproof safe with a case of water on top. Poor man's sprinkler system. There you go. But yeah, definitely a fireproof safe. We've talked about those before. All right, gang. It's 10 o'clock. I'm going to bed. See y'all in the morning. Pinball out.